A lot of folks ask me why I call myself the King of Memphis. Basically, because studying we brought the first platinum and gold plaques to the city. We represent the city. We did the first movie.
But what you don't do is wait on these superstar head DJs and PDs. You hear me? Man, them niggas ran so much, them niggas be pregnant. You hear me? For real.
The reason why you ain't get signed, you ain't bumping, fool. If you were bumping, Soda would have signed. So, you know, what you need to do is stop saying these little kids raps and be for real. Go out here and do the right.
Yo Gotti had been claiming the title of King of Memphis long before his beef with Young Dolph. The others he clashed with over that title were none other than 3-6 Mafia. And just like how his feud with Dolph eventually turned deadly, the tension between Gotti and 3-6 Mafia also took a deadly turn.
It's real, cause ain't no love where I'm from. And I don't like you no way. Give a take my rotation. And what you mean?
Now to many, 3-6 Mafia were the true pioneers of Memphis hip-hop. They were the first group from the city to break through nationally, and even globally. Some hip-hop heads credit them with shaping the sound of modern hip-hop itself. So when Yo Gotti emerged in the late 90s and early 2000s, the Mafia had already cemented their place in history. By 1997, they had dropped the gold-certified Chapter 2, World Domination. And by 2000, their When the Smoke Clears, 66-61 went platinum.
Record, man.
As Gotti's presence in the game started to grow, it sparked a quiet rivalry over who truly represented Memphis on a larger scale. At first, Gotti seemed to tread lightly. On his second album, Life, in the track Entering the Game, he rapped, "So much respect for the M, I ain't gon' say I'm the king / I'ma leave it to the fans if you know what I mean." But that respectful tone eventually faded as his momentum increased. As Gotti dropped more projects, including the Blackout Squad and his I Told You So Gangsta Grillz mixtape with DJ Drama, he began to embrace the King of Memphis label more aggressively. One major turning point was his mixtape interlude titled Real King of Memphis, a clear jab aimed at DJ Paul, who had long crowned himself with that title. DJ Paul wasn't backing down either. He had declared himself the King of Memphis years before, making his stance known on his 2002 solo release, Underground Vol. 16 for Da Suma. In the intro to Back Da F Back, Paul didn't mince words. You know, a lot of folks ask me why I call myself the King of Memphis, basically cause dudes studying us. We brought the first platinum and gold plaques to the city. We represent in the city. You know, dudes wanna diss me and talk ish. I show half of these to stay on beat.
You know, a lot of folks ask me why I call myself the King of Memphis. Basically, cause studying we brought the first platinum and gold plaques to the city. We represent the city. We did the first movie. You know, wanna diss me, talk shit. I show half of these how to stay on beat.
It wasn't just DJ Paul holding that line either. Other 3-6 Mafia members like Crunchy Black also voiced their issues with Gotti, publicly calling him out and challenging his claim to the throne.
The reason why you ain't signed, you ain't bumping, fool. If you were bumping, Soda would have signed. So, you know, what you do is stop saying these little kids raps and be for real. Go out here and do the right.
One of the most infamous and public moments in the ongoing feud between Yo Gotti and 3-6 Mafia took place at Crunkfest 2004 in Memphis, where tensions finally exploded into violence. During the concert, Yo Gotti and his crew, the Block Burnaz, staged a bold and direct provocation. Around 40 people flooded the stage with Gotti, all wearing bright red t-shirts emblazoned with the words "Triple Mafia" in large white letters, a blatant and disrespectful jab at 3-6 Mafia. This move was widely believed to be a reaction to earlier comments made by members of 3-6 Mafia regarding Gotti's recent signing with TVT Records. The crowd's response was sharply divided. Some fans rallied behind Gotti, cheering and showing support, while others, loyal to 3-6 Mafia, booed and shouted back, setting the atmosphere on edge. Things quickly spiraled out of control. Following Gotti's controversial performance, a fight broke out that took event security nearly 25 minutes to calm. The concert had to be cut short, but the violence didn't end there. Outside the Mid-South Coliseum, a large brawl erupted in the parking lot, prompting an increased police presence. Several reports of gunfire around the venue followed, though thankfully no one was injured by the shots. Ricky Cole of S&S Entertainment, the promoter behind Chronicles 2004, later admitted that security measures had fallen short, stating, "When you do a rap show there are always problems, but nobody got shot. The crowds at these shows have got to learn to control themselves. Beefed up security is a must." Naturally, the beef spilled over into the music. Both Yo Gotti and members of 3 6 Mafia addressed their rivalry through lyrics in various tracks. Gotti called them out explicitly in his track, That's What's Up, where he rapped, "What up 3 6 / no you don't like me, well F ya got," leaving no doubt about who he was targeting. DJ Paul responded with bars of his own, keeping the tension alive on the remix of Stay Fly. Without naming Gotti directly, his message was still clear. DJ Paul / it's official, the king of the town. Some clown tried to grab my crown / I hit him, made him put it down. I represent the M. And I do it better than him or her or them on CD and on film / making sure everyone knew he wasn't backing down from his claim to Memphis's crown. The beef between Yo Gotti and 3 6 Mafia got so intense that it spilled into the streets, with gangs getting involved, like the Trilla Mafia, who are affiliated with Yo Gotti. This feud eventually intertwined with the ongoing beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. Things escalated further when Yo Gotti's artist, Black Youngsta, aggressively inserted himself into Gotti's beef with Dolph. In a viral video, Black Youngsta threatened to slap Dolph and was seen rolling through Dolph's neighborhood with his crew, armed and seemingly looking for him.
Where you at, dog?
You see me? Down fit, cuz.
Where you at, dog?
Where you at? Where you at? We in Cascade right now. We just left the store. Where you at right now, dog?
Once that video hit social media, Young Dolph quickly fired back on Instagram, calling out both Black Youngsta and Yo Gotti. He accused them of playing what he described as police games, implying they were trying to provoke legal trouble for him rather than handling their issues in the streets.
Gotti, you was a... I just got back to the city. They say you trying to put charges on me and put the police on me. You seen your little do all your talking. Talk for yourself. Hey, that big head Down syndrome.
Dolph didn't stop there. In a series of heated Instagram posts, he took aim at Yo Gotti again, this time accusing him of building his career off of disrespecting 3 6 Mafia. Posting a photo of the iconic group, Dolph praised their legacy, writing, "These are Memphis legends that brought Oscars back to Die City," referencing their historic Oscar win in 2006 for It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. He added, "They started day club crunk music. I appreciate y'all for opening the doors up for Memphis artists. But guess who started their career off by hating on them? LOL, he was broke. That was that only way he could get people's attention." Some members of 3 6 Mafia also publicly stood behind Young Dolph in the feud, but this deep intertwined rivalry would eventually reach a tragic tipping point with the death of Young Dolph, an event that shocked the city and the hip-hop world at large. While many factors contributed to the tragedy, one possible angle that has sparked conversation centers on the Trilla Mafia. To understand how this all connects, you have to look back nearly a decade. Young Dolph was once affiliated with a rising street rapper named J Money. J Money frequently posted about Dolph visiting his neighborhood, showing love, and encouraging him to succeed. He even called Dolph's crew, Paper Route Empire, his family. J Money was a well-known member of Trilla Mafia, hailing from Orange Mound, a neighborhood in southeast Memphis bordering Dolph's own area, Castilla Heights. J Money was respected in both the streets and the local rap scene. Even at a young age, he was involved in serious incidents, charged with the murder of a close friend at just 18, and later the same year, he was hit with an aggravated assault charge. Despite this, J Money was gaining momentum in music. He had a strong bond with Chicago drill pioneer Chief Keef and his Glow Gang collective. They were seen in multiple photos together, with Chief Keef even shouting out J Money and Trilla Mafia on his track Shooters. Other notable artists like NLE Choppa also acknowledged J Money's impact, and Chief Keef himself would later reminisce on J Money's wild legacy.
Hey, yo, I was on the phone with J Money one day, right? On FaceTime, his slow ass, folks, he outside the window on the E-way, folks. I'm telling for you, fried, shit, y'all.
At one point, J Money even started calling his crew Glow Gang Trulla, reflecting just how close the connection was. He also had early collaborations with other big Memphis names like Moneybagg Yo, and had reportedly recorded with Young Dolph as well. Behind-the-scenes footage shows him and Dolph together during a music video shoot in the hood.
Mama always told me don't trust these.
Interestingly, before the beef between Yo Gotti and Dolph fully exploded, J Money also had ties to the CMG camp. He was seen hanging out with Black Youngsta and others, making him one of the rare figures who seemed to move between both camps with ease. That kind of respect in the streets made him a target too. Tragically, in 2016, J Money was killed in what was believed to be a gang-related revenge shooting. His death left a major void in Trulla Mafia's leadership and sparked internal strife within the gang. What followed was a serious rift within Trulla Mafia. The group eventually splintered, with some original members breaking off to form a new set known as Double R, short for Rich and Ruthless. Many of these Double R members were said to have ties to the Grape Street Crips. One of the notable names tied to this split was Big Scar, cousin of fellow Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. Big Scar, real name Alexander Woods, was a former Trulla Mafia affiliate who would eventually leave and align himself with Double R. Tensions between the two camps only escalated further when a Double R member known as BG, also called Baby Grape, was allegedly murdered by 3 Trulla Mafia members, C Modi, Zay, and Go Crazy. Go Crazy, whose real name is Carlos Lacey, would eventually be arrested and charged for the killing. BG had been a close friend of Big Scar, making his death even more significant in the growing conflict between the two factions. This incident is believed to have been the spark that ignited an all-out war in the streets of Memphis between Double R and Trulla Mafia. In response to BG's murder, Double R retaliated by allegedly killing Zay, one of the original Trulla Mafia members suspected of being involved in the hit. The violence didn't stop there. The back and forth between the two gangs would continue with increasing intensity. C Modi, after returning home from jail on a separate case, added fuel to the fire by releasing a song titled Send a Hit, in which he taunted Double R and even named himself as their main enemy. The track made him a bigger target, and not long after, his run as a rapper was cut short when he was charged with 7 counts of attempted murder after allegedly shooting up a house on 2 separate occasions.
People at this home on Monarch put up this camera after someone shot at or near their home twice in the same week. Other people who live in this neighborhood say they feel like hostages in their own home because of the random gunfire. Police say the victims were able to identify 19-year-old Byron Walker as the shooter. He's now facing 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
Meanwhile, the situation intensified further when D Money, brother of the late J Money, was shot and killed in May 2020. His murder caused even more tension between the warring groups. Not long after, rumors circulated that D Money was allegedly killed by a rapper known as Big Unk, formerly Uncle Danny. Big Unk was allegedly affiliated with both Double R and Yo Gotti's CMG crew. He had made a name for himself in the Memphis rap scene with gritty music videos that often showcased heavy weaponry. After D Money's death, Big Unk posted 3 laughing emojis on Facebook and later shared a cryptic status that read, "Some things better left unsaid," followed by a shushing emoji. The post only fueled suspicions and anger. Later that year, another rapper allegedly tied to Double R CEO Jizzle released a song titled Rich and Ruthless, where he rapped, "If you diss 23, swear to God, it's going to be RIP, you ain't hear what happened to last dude, he got left on Trig Street." This was widely interpreted as a diss toward D Money, who had publicly dissed a deceased Double R member named 23 just before he was killed. In fact, just days after his diss, D Money posted a screenshot of a text message he received warning that someone planned to kill him in his car, swearing on Grape that it would happen. Now this brings Young Dolph back into the picture in a significant way. Dolph would end up signing Big Unk, who had these alleged ties to Double R, to his label, Paper Route Empire. This move puzzled many, especially considering Dolph's past closeness with J Money. Fans questioned why Dolph would sign someone allegedly connected to the death of J Money's brother. Regardless of the reasons, by aligning with Big Unk, Young Dolph unintentionally picked a side in the street beef between Double R and Trulla Mafia. This alignment caused Trulla Mafia to shift closer to Yo Gotti's CMG camp, while Big Unk and his crew became more tied to Dolph's Paper Route Empire. empire. Big Unc's street credibility and connections brought a younger generation of Memphis gang members into the spotlight of this ongoing rap and street feud, deepening the divide between the CMG and pre-camps. This intricate web of music and street affiliations is believed by many to have ultimately led to Young Dolph's tragic death. There were 3 separate attempts on Dolph's life. The first being the 2017 shooting in Charlotte, where his SUV was sprayed with over 100 bullets. 3 men were arrested at the time, including Black Youngsta. The others were Frederick Black and Antavius Gardner. All 3 were hit with multiple counts of discharging a firearm into occupied property and conspiracy. That shooting went down in broad daylight, right before the CIA basketball championship game, just blocks from the arena. It was wild. Multiple cars got hit, bullet casings everywhere, and while the motive was never officially stated by investigators, Dolph didn't hold back. He said he was targeted, and he even dropped 3 songs about the whole thing: 100 Shots, In Charlotte, and Bulletproof. Eventually, the charges against Black Youngsta got dropped, but the streets never forgot. Then there was that second attempt on Dolph's life, just months later, outside the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood. That one almost took him out. He got into a fight with 3 guys in the valet area, got knocked to the ground, and then someone pulled out a gun and shot him multiple times. He was rushed into surgery and survived, but it was clear that somebody really wanted him gone. LAPD even named Yo Gotti as a person of interest based on witness statements. A man named Corey McClendon, one of Gotti's close associates, was arrested near the scene. Police even found a gold Escalade linked to the suspects not far away. But like before, charges didn't stick. McClendon got released, and no one's ever been officially charged for that shooting either. And then there was the actual murder of Young Dolph, arguably the most tragic chapter in this whole saga. It happened in broad daylight, right in his hometown of Memphis. Dolph had pulled up to Makeda's Homemade Cookies, a spot he was known to frequent and support often. That's when it all went down. 2 masked gunmen ambushed him outside the shop and shot him multiple times before speeding off in a getaway car. The whole thing was caught on surveillance footage. And just like that, Memphis lost one of its most respected voices. What followed was a manhunt that gripped the entire city. Eventually, police arrested 23-year-old Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop, and 32-year-old Cornelius Smith. They were both charged with Dolph's murder. But then came a third name, Hernandez Govan, 43 years old, who prosecutors believe was the one who actually orchestrated the entire hit. During the trial, it would be revealed that Dolph's death was linked to Yo Gotti's brother, who had allegedly put a hit out on Dolph before being murdered himself. The entire beef was viewed by many as petty and avoidable, yet incredibly dangerous. Even 3-6 Mafia's Crunchy Black has commented on the violence that continues to plague Memphis. In an interview, he responded to remarks made by Bosco A100, who warned that the violence could escalate, with Yo Gotti and his crew becoming future targets. Crunchy Black seemed to agree, stressing that in the game, survival means staying one step ahead. Yet despite recognizing the rules of the streets, Crunchy Black also spoke on the emotional cost, acknowledging the pain of losing people close to you and expressing hope for peace and resolution. Though the original beef may have calmed on the surface, its consequences are still being felt, shaping the ever-complicated landscape of Memphis hip-hop.